So before we begin, I want to make it very clear. It is completely against the terms of service to engage in cheating, botting, and hacking using any third-party software to gain an unfair advantage. Do not, as a result of this video, seek to do so. This is purely for educational purposes and to understand what's going on with the state of the game. So I recently posted a video where I did say that block scripting wasn't such a big deal for my experience playing the game, that I haven't really had any negative impacts by it. And yes, that is the case. But I failed to express that it is a very important thing that should get addressed by the devs, at least more actively than what we can tell that they're doing. There is clear evidence when you look around that people are taking advantage of literal hacks to gain a big advantage in this game, particularly for PvP against anybody who uses CC abilities. And so even though my experience has not been frequent or if at all engaging with anybody who actively hacks and exploits, that does not mean others of you have not ran into those experiences. And upon doing some extra research, yes, I can find it is absolutely a thing. And it's quite frankly pretty shocking the advantage that this can give you. Auto perfect blocking attacks. Literally hacking the game's data, tracking what's going on, and then having your device input the exact key to react to said incoming data. This particular website boasts about its auto-blocking and dodging capabilities, particularly for PvP. Auto-targeting, even allowing you to ignore certain weapon combos, highlight exactly what weapons people are using, movement speed boost hacks, and overall just some crazy stuff. Again, all just because the game's data is vulnerable. It's not encoded so that people can just create a software to read the game's data that's generating in your RAM, and then based on that have a certain software to input commands and keystrokes so you can react supernaturally to certain things. If you experience anything suspicious, definitely report it. Do not engage in this type of behavior. Do not cheat, do not bot, do not hack. Using third-party software is a complete no-no. Having a program to be able to freaking automatically block certain targeted attacks is just crazy. If you play a class which is very reliant on CC abilities, you will notice it an awful lot more versus any other class. If you're running crossbow and dagger, just spinning on people, even if they get a perfect block against one or two of your attacks, you're kind of whatever. But if you're a ravager, you jump on somebody and your whole rotation is reliant on getting them prone to be able to kill them, and then they just every single time perfect block your abilities, yeah, that can be an absolutely awful experience. It can happen sometimes because the people are particularly good at predicting when you're going to make an attack, but other times it can just go a bit too far and you might just feel suspicious that they are botting, because it's a possibility, which absolutely sucks in this game right now. It should not be possible, and honestly should have more attention from the devs to get fixed. They should address their code, figure out a way to improve the anti-cheat or improve their encoding so you can't exactly go and pull all that data to be able to create some third-party software which can then literally play the game for you. There is also the whole AFK farming, the macro farming. People can very easily, especially these days, create an auto clicker. And the game doesn't really help with that. It makes it super easy to actually do this. You only need an auto clicker for your mouse button, and you can literally AFK farm all these guys too. I do not endorse it, and I'm personally not going to engage in it. You can get totally banned as it's considered botting behavior. I think one of the biggest offending things that the game has going for it is this auto target nearest enemy. They could simply disable this if you're AFK for like a few minutes, and also have logout timers. I play Neverwinter and there's a 15-minute logout timer. It of course needs to be somewhat smart to be able to understand what key presses you're doing and whether or not you're actually AFK or not. Because yeah, you can just stand here and then zoom out far and you just left click and you're just going to target. When this target dies, if I keep spamming left click, it's going to find a new target that's on my screen. If the devs actually want to address all this, say, botting behavior, particularly in the Black Anvil Forge for those guys farming the dwarves for obsidian, they need to do something about that. They have gone and made it so people can't get loot by killing the mobs. The only thing you can pretty much get that's valuable is the obsidian. Again, it gets you a weapon set which can give you a pretty big boost when you're farming your Solent and Mastery. I don't know who decided it was a good idea to add the obsidian in this way with insanely low drop rates, basically encouraging players to bot farm it because the drop rates are so low. Nobody realistically wants to go through like an 80-hour grind just to get this kind of a weapon set. And with the game making it so easy to bot farm, yeah, you find a lot of players are doing it. However, I personally on my server haven't found it that big of an issue. You'll find a few players doing it, but not near as much as I just showcased with this guy. He shared the video clip. This is from like the Japanese server, and there is definitely a lot of them. Like literally every corner of the area, there is somebody standing AFK farming. So yeah, it will depend what region you're in, what server you're in, how prevalent all this botting and hacking is actually there. Personally, I haven't experienced much of it. I haven't been really negatively impacted by it that I'm aware of. But that doesn't mean some of you guys haven't been negatively impacted by it. You for sure made a pretty big outcry when I did express how, for me, I wasn't really noticing it. And again, doing a bit of research, discovering this kind of stuff, that's pretty shocking. It definitely exists and definitely needs addressing. Nobody wants to play a PvP game where the other guy has a significant advantage over you just because they input some lines of code into some third-party software and are just always going to be better than you because a literal bot is playing on their behalf, inputting their reactions rather than you, who just has human ones. Ultimately, I don't know how much this video will help. I'm sure the devs are already aware to a certain extent that a portion of their audience is abusing these certain things. They probably already have devs trying to figure out what to do. Just be aware of it and report any suspicious activity that you see. A dev can always go and investigate it, have a look at their game data, and if they find evidence that players are breaking their legal code, they will absolutely go and ban them. They may not be as clear and transparent as we would like. Of course, some people would love to have a notice board and have like, this guy got banned for botting, this guy got banned for hacking, this guy got banned for such and such. But generally that's just not done. Things are done behind the scenes. Somebody gets banned. They usually don't tell anybody because they're kind of ashamed that it happened. But that's ultimately it for now and everything I could share. Do not engage in botting, hacking, or using any kind of third-party software. It's literally the fastest way you can get banned, along with RMTing. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys around. Goodbye for now.